Hi, guys. Welcome to my podcast on YouTube, an Clara podcast. I am an Clara, and today we're going to be talking about something that I think it's really important. I think it's really important because it's just, it's a subject that it really means a lot to me. And with this platform that I want it yet to to grow and to be my voice here on YouTube and on social media. I have this podcast to talk about not only about my life but about many subjects about society and trips and food and people and society and American people, American culture, because I really like it. American culture. For those of you who don't know, I'm Brazilian, but that's not really the point here. So I've been thinking about these things lately, and I thought it'd be okay to bring here details about it and what I think about it. Oh my God, is this a white hair? No, it's I don't think it is. I think it's the blonde. I have to get blonder. So the topic that I really would like to share here on this third episode is about the animals in general. Like the title says, when I was little, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, all of my youth, I'm still in my youth, but all of my youth, I've been incredibly obsessed with being famous. I've always wanted to be famous, like I think for the wrong reason, I've always wanted to be famous, and I think for the wrong reason. Why is that? Because I wanted to be famous like Miley, Selena, for singing, for dancing, for just, for dating somebody special, and I don't think and I think that's the problem. I love Miley. Okay, so here's the thing that you should know. Miley, Selena, and Demi, they are my world. Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, and Selena Gomez, they are absolutely like my world. Disney Channel has been my world since I was a baby. Okay, not since I was a baby, since I was a kid in 2006. Yeah, I think 2006. I was born in 99, so, and I remember the first thing that I ever fell in love with, when it comes like to music and these things. For example, foreign music was something called was a soap opera called Rebelde from Mexico, which it's gonna be always, one of the loves of my life. In 2005, and then in 2006, 7, I don't remember if it was 2006 or 2007, that I met Selena, Miley, Demi, Disney Channel, and I fell in love with English and like the language, like English and wanting to be like Hannah Montana, and I wanted to be like that, and that's the problem. I wanted to be famous. I wanted to get recognized in the streets and to be famous in Hollywood for that. But that's the wrong reason. And I'm going to tell you why. That's the wrong reason. You should want to become famous for a cause. To help the world become a better place. To help people stop with their prejudices. Did I say the word right? Okay, so you guys understood, right? There are people who are just as cruel as the devil when it comes to animals. I don't think I don't think even the devil. I don't even think the devil himself would be as cruel as these kinds of people that have been around for a long time on Earth. I think you should. That's the point here. I think what I want to tell you in this episode is you should want to be famous, to become a famous person for the good reason, for the right reason, which is a cause. For example, you should fight for those who don't speak, who don't know how to fight for themselves, who don't speak, who only, like, for those of you, not you, but for those of don't have their voices, and we do have our voices. For example, our animals, cats, dogs, bunnies, rabbits. I have my bunny, and he's my whole life. I fight for him every day. So bunnies, rabbits, dogs, cats, little birds, every animal possible, like the whales, sharks, everything, like lions, lionesses, little cub, like baby lion, like cubs, little cubs, and I don't know, name something, name an animal. It will be on this list. You should fight for them. You should fight for them because they don't have their voices, and we should be their voices. We should speak on behalf of them. What do you think about that? I want you guys to know something really hard. It's really hard for me to talk about this. I'm Brazilian, and something happened here in Brazil in the beginning of 2026. In January 4th, yeah, I think it was 2026, after New Year's, something incredibly horrible happened here in Brazil. It's something that made me cry so much, but not only cry, it made me. I can absolutely say that I don't like humanity anymore. I don't like, and like every day that goes by, I lose a little bit of respect every day. When it comes to humanity, I lose respect for the human being every day. What I'm about to tell you happened here in Brazil. On the south of Brazil. I think it was four teenagers or 6 teenagers. I think the media says it was 4, but I think it was 6. I don't know. But social media has like, they have told everybody on social media that it was 4 teenagers, 4 rich millionaire teenagers, white millionaires, and cruel human beings ended a dog's life here in Brazil. I think you guys have been aware of this thing that happened. I don't remember the word now, but actually this horrible thing that happened is called in Brazil Caso Orelha. This dog, he was a stray dog called Orelha. His name was Orelha, and he was a stray dog, loved by so many people. He was being taken care of like every day. People brought him food every day. People brought not only food but a pillow and a blanket, and for they built the community built a little house for the dog, and his name was Orelha, and he lived, like a stray dog lives in Brazil, and he was bitten to death by those 4 white millionaires, cruel human beings. He was bitten to death. Like, it's not like the way that he was murdered was something so cruel to the point where I'm thinking right now, why God made the dinosaurs disappear and made us be born. Like, it's just not right. I'm not saying that God made the wrong thing. God only does the right thing. But for example, a dinosaur wouldn't do this to a little dog. But a human being does this cruel thing. It's not like they just ended the dog's life. They made him suffer. They made him cry. They made him suffer to a point where he was so weak and fragile, and he must have been crying the whole time, like crying, asking God for help, asking someone for help. And the crime was committed in the morning. I think it was like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Everyone was asleep, and so and they made him suffer. They made him cry. They made the little dog, feel pain. The way that I'm not going to describe here the way that they made him suffer, because it's too cruel to even tell you guys here. I have cried so much because to me, a dog, a cat, a bunny, I have my bunny, and my bunny is my life. It's just not right. I've cried so much. I've had episodes of anxiety. My anxiety is so fucked up. I just can't not even tell you. I just cannot even begin to tell you how my anxiety feels like when an animal suffers in the hands of a human being. To me, the human being doesn't really, and I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to tell you otherwise, because it is what I think. It is what I believe. My beliefs are what I believe, what I do believe. I believe in God, and I believe that God shows himself in, with an animal's life. I'm not saying that I won't be a mother of a human, mother of my baby, of a human being later in life, but I prefer all of the animals than the human being, and I don't like the human being at all. The human being makes an animal suffers. The only thing that he deserves is death penalty. The human being that is cruel, that abandons, that makes that kills an animal, that makes an animal suffer, makes an animal cry and feel pain and feel abandoned and everything that they do to these little poor animals. You should face death penalty. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. And I don't care about what you think. Those people need to be punished. Those people need to be punished. So I think that you guys, American people, Canadian people, everyone out there, please get to know this terrible case of the dog Aurelia, who was murdered by 4 or 6, I think it was 4, teenagers, Brazilian teenagers in the south of Brazil. They need to be punished, and it's out there. Even the actor from the Vampire Diaries, Paul Wesley, he shared about Aurelia on his somewhere on Instagram, and this is just horrible. And I think you guys, I think you guys should, I think you should get to know this story because it's just horrible. So, yeah, it's just horrible. So, please get. Sorry about the car. Fuck, this is so annoying. Okay, so this is why I actually need to tell you, please fight for a cause. If you're dancing on TikTok, just just showing your body and your face with your face with makeup, this isn't something that we need. This is something that, you shouldn't be paid at all. I think you should be paid for something that will help humanity and help the animals, especially animals. Okay, not help humanity, because we have other people to help us, but we have to be able to stay together and to get together for a cause for the animals. I think we should be able to. I think we should want to help them, because you guys who love animals like me, I am pretty sure that God loves us. But I think I know God loves us all because we are all sinners, but I think I do really think God should punish people who mistreats animals out there, and who's people who are cruel and who abandon animals and do other stuff. What do you guys think about that? I just wanted to make sure that you guys know what you are going in for. I just want you guys to know what the world has been at the beginning of 2026. It's just horrible. It's just incredibly pathetic, the way the human being does things, the way that humanity exists. I think God should be really sad. I'm pretty sure that God is pretty upset with us, because he should, and I think we should pray and for the animals, for humanity, for humankind, for the animals, all animals on earth, that, yeah, I think we should. Yeah, we should. So thank you so much. Subscribe to the podcast, and thank you. Bye. Subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and you can comment below. Please subscribe to the channel. Bye.